right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of We Create Music. I am your host, B. Vaughn, and today we have an extraordinary producer, Smartboy.
What's up, man?
What's up, brother? Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you.
Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Give some context to how we met a couple years ago at an iStandard event. We just kind of connected, led to what we're kind of doing here today in this conversation. And it's a pleasure, my dude.
Hey, man,
Absolutely.
I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate you.
Yep.
I appreciate the connection, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I meet a lot of like dope people, really cool, creative individuals at iStandard events or any sort of like networking event. I'm happy that like things stick, and I'm happy that you invited me on your show, man. Thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. So talk a little bit about yourself. How'd you get started in music?
My name is Smartboy. I'm a producer from North Carolina, a small town called Aberdeen, born and raised there. Just moved out to Atlanta for real, back in February.
Mm-hmm.
I've been producing, I would say, since about high school, middle school, when I got introduced to FL Studios. And I really started taking it seriously a little while, like midway through college, a little bit after that. And then honestly, I really started taking it super serious when I teamed up with iStandard and teamed up with other producers that were really doing this thing. So man, I love it. I love music itself. I've been doing music since I was born. Like my whole family's musical, but like it's something about the producing aspect of things that just like really like resonates with me. Like to me, there's nothing like better than creating something that other people can relate to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Sort of like reading their minds, sort of like bringing that out of them, and then putting it through music so they can like connect to it. You know. So
okay. It's tight. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I read about how you got started. As far as your brother. So share a little bit about that. How'd you come up with the name Smartboy?
All right, so it was a a birthday card that he gave me years ago, and in school just came very, very easy to me. In my family, I was the one who had the higher grades and got honor roll every year or every report card or whatever. Like when they used to give out. I might be dating myself a little bit, but when they used to give out O's and S's or whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would always come home with O's, like all O's or S's or all A's and B's or whatnot. So then my brother, he was smart, or whatever. So he gave me a birthday card. He's like, "Happy birthday, smart guy." I was like, "Oh, all right." And during that time, I was trying to find like a moniker that would sort of go with me or whatever. So I just changed Guy to Boy because Smart Guy is the already like a TV show.
Yeah, the TV show. Yeah.
So just saying, okay, all right, I can do this. You know what I mean? Because a bit of education and a bit of like, you know what I mean, like how I feel. I produce my own music. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I feel like I sort of like go places and think about things that a lot of people wouldn't think about in their own production. So like, oh man, that's smart. Yeah.
So give us an example.
I'm a percussionist, so rhythmically I take a lot of chances. Like breakdowns with how I feel certain rhythms and certain like I take rhythms from other cultures and try to like bring them into hip hop or bring them into a pop song or bring them into this. So like bending genres a lot, and like, a lot of people just like, oh man, I wouldn't think to put those African drums in this R&B song. You know what I mean? And then it just, because you did that, it gave it a whole different feel, you know what I mean? So
that's right.
Yeah.
I like that. That's smart.
He's catching on.
That's right. Because a lot of people, they just kind of think about when they're making music, oh, I just put some hi-hats, some snares, some 808s, some drums, a synth, pluck. Cool, I got a song. Right? And not really think about the creative aspect of it and kind of meshing genres together to kind of create something that's multicultural and that's beautiful. Yeah.
You sort of form your own identity within that too. You know what I mean? We all know producers who have this thing where like you don't even have to know who produced it. You can just listen to it and like, oh yeah, that's Timberland. Oh yeah, that's
because they get that signature sound that you can kind of pick out. So let's talk about that. So back in the day, producers had signature sound, right? You knew Scott Storch. you knew Just Blaze, you knew Timbaland, you knew a Pharrell sound. Today, I don't know, do you think that distinction still exists, or is it harder to kind of tell who has a certain sound these days?
In my opinion, with pop music or popular music being the way it is, it's hard to tell. But me being just a student of music and like studying music or whatnot, I can sort of pick up on certain rhythmic cadences or like melodic cadences or certain things that sort of like, oh yeah, that's Metro Boomin, or that's Wheezy, or that's a Street Runner or something like that. You know what I mean? So like, or Hitmaker or Go Grizz, anybody.
Right.
So it's a little harder these days, but I mean, everyone still has their own unique identity or their own unique, like, all right, I'm gonna throw this on there, and, you know, and then with the whole introduction of the tag on the beats and everything, it's a little
now the tag makes it super easy.
Yeah.
Or whoever tag it may be, whether it's Young Metro, Don't Trust You, or whether, even back then it was, you know, we had Just Blaze.
Yeah.
And so, everybody had their tag, so it kind of said, oh, that's a Just Blaze song, or oh, that's a Metro Boomin song, or that's a whoever song, because now they got producer tags. But I think Just Blaze back then, I don't know if he probably was the only one doing it.
It seems like he
Probably.
sort of started the whole wave of like, you know, the tag, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then like nowadays that's the thing, that's just the thing to do.
It's just everybody got tagged.
Everybody got tagged.
Everybody got a tag. Yeah. That's right. So you went to school for music?
Yeah, I went to school for music education. Shout out UNCP. Go Braves. With their 2010, 2004, graduated in 2014 with honors.
With honors.
Yeah.
Okay, with honors.
Yeah. Got to. If you're gonna do it, go all the way. You know what I mean? And obviously adding to the whole Smartboy thing too. So then just really being proud of being one of the first ones in my household with a degree to bring home. So that was dope too. Studied UNCP where I was sort of like honed in on like my craft and like learn what I was learn what I was listening to, learn how to interpret what I was listening to, and not just be like, oh yeah, that's this, that's that, that's this.
Yeah.
You gotta learn how to break it down. And one of my college professors told me like music theory is all about knowing the rules so you can know how to break them. And I think that's this whole thing.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. Is you got to at least know the rules in order to be able to break the rules.
That's with anything, but like especially music because it's so complex. There's so many areas you can go to, you know what I mean? And like discovering how you can create certain emotion with certain sounds or with certain like, you know, certain feels, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk about, hope I pronounce it right, Sinfonia.
Oh, that's me.
That's right.
I was initiated into my fraternity in spring 11. I ended up being the fraternal education officer in my fraternity, which is in charge of basically creating new members and educating them on like our everything that is a Sinfonia. Did that for 3 years of my college career, and I loved it. This past weekend, actually, I attended a big cookout up in Durham, North Carolina. A whole bunch of my fraternity brothers got together, and we just went out there, ate, sang, strolled, laughed. You know, so it was a beautiful thing.
I bet it was
a really beautiful thing, man. Honestly, that's one of the best decisions I've ever made with my life too, because like as we know, college is all about networking.
Right.
Apart from getting a degree, getting a piece of paper, it's all about networking and who you meet and who you know. So just joining my fraternity and like being involved as much as I was, expanding my network musically as far as like my eyes could go. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah. I bet.
It's one of the best decisions I ever made, man. Yeah.
You know, I never heard of. I mean, when you hear about fraternities, you think about A5As and Q Dogs and Deltas and all those. But it was the first time I actually heard of a fraternity dedicated for those who are in music.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah. Our objects talks about the advancement of music in America, and I think and the advancement of music in America and also the rest of the world too, because there's parts of the world where they're not privy to a lot of the music that we get to ingest on a daily basis, because we can stream everything. If I say I want to listen to a song, I can just say, "Hey Siri, can I listen to?" And she'll pull it up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But a lot of the world doesn't have that luxury. So you know. And then just being a musician in general. There are other music fraternities and sororities out there too. Shout out to all of them.
See, I didn't even know they existed.
A little biased, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, man.
I've always wanted to be, well, you know what I'm saying. It's a certain fraternity I've always wanted to be a part of.
Which one is that?
Old Gold Black Soul.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. A5A.
Okay,
right. I did. I always wanted to be a part of A5A. It just never happened.
Hey, man,
it never happened. My nephew's part of A5A.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I need to talk to him.
I got a couple of my brothers. A couple of my brothers are alphas. We have some Q dogs. We have some Kappas. We have Sigmas. Like I think that's the beauty about my fraternity as well. Like a lot of my brothers are like diehard symphonians, but they also just the spirit that they have. They also lend their hand to other organizations as well to like bring the music aspect as well as everything that they're doing in their organization, bring it all to the forefront. So that's a beautiful thing.
That's dope.
Shout out to all my brothers, 1898 out here.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to get a symphonia.
Oh, man. Oh, hey, we can put you
I gotta go back to school. I gotta go back to school.
No, we can nominate you as an honorary.
Yeah, we finna do that. Yeah. So I can be like,
It's like that. Oh, I almost pulled a muscle this past weekend trying to stroll, man. and as limber as I used to be.
Yeah. Okay, so you went to school for music.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that is something that is needed today? That for producers, artists, songwriters, whoever they may be, to have a formal education in music?
I think with the advancements in technology and YouTube University, you can learn anything you want to just by Googling or watching a YouTube video. But sometimes it takes that extra push or that extra somebody being in your ear saying, yeah, this is the way it's actually supposed to go. This is what you're listening for. This is what somebody that's trained to do it. Because I mean, it's cool to watch a YouTube video, but also while you're watching that YouTube video, you can be doing other things that take your concentration off of it. You know what I mean? But in school, my percussion instructor, I didn't really know how to do a lot of stuff when I went to school. I was the best at my high school, or one of the best at my high school. When I got to college, I went in there with that complex, and he's like, "Yeah,
you went in there with that Nick Cannon complex."
Yeah. It was just like that. I'm the best snare player ever. Cool. There's like a plethora of other instruments you got to learn how to play too. Ooh. I'm like, what? Yeah.
Well, okay, so just besides being a percussionist, you had to learn other instruments?
Yeah. Especially, and then for my degree too, I had to learn how to play every instrument. So I can teach band and I can teach voice and orchestra and all that other stuff too.
So you used to be a singer, right? I did read that.
Yeah. My mom, we grew up in church, so she kept us in church all the time. And she was the choir director of the youth choir at the church. So even when I got too big for the youth choir, I still had to sing on the youth choir. Yeah,
you like the
I was the biggest.
Mom, really?
Yeah, there's a video that we have, a home video that we have, and like all the kids are like this, and then you see me, and then you see the rest of the kids too, and we just like, I'm like, man, well, I got this. I think that was either my last year or one of the last years or whatnot, but. Yeah. that was the year that I blew up and nobody else did.
Yeah. You towering over everybody like.
Yeah.
That's dude.
Yeah. So I sing and I percussion sing. I can touch keys a little bit too. So
he's multi-talented.
Yeah. You feel
multifaceted.
Yeah. I feel like you got to, especially these days with everybody knowing how to do everything. You gotta sort of hone in on what you can and master what you can and like be the best at that. You know what I mean?
Because with the advent of YouTube and the cheapness of musical equipment and dolls these days, anybody can go out, buy a machine, right? They can go out and get a machine for $4.99. They can go out and get a laptop, keyboard. Actually, you don't even need a keyboard. You can just use the machine.
Yeah.
And,
I love that machine.
You can get FL, and you can just, boom. So everybody's a producer these days, but I feel that there are certain things that set people apart from others than just, there's that whole beat maker versus kind of producer type thing.
That whole argument.
that whole argument, right? But now I'm glad you shared that because I didn't go to school for music, right? And so I kind of learned through YouTube University. Shout out to YouTube University, right? Yeah. But I also learned from doing beat battles and having other producers around who have been more seasoned in the game that can kind of go.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the thing that sort of took I feel like took my craft to the next level was being around people that have done this before. Right. People who can hear certain frequencies and can hear certain sonics and say, yeah, that's correct. That's not there yet. You know what I mean? Like, tweak this, move this over here, move that over there, and then play it. And it's like, oh man, I would have never thought of that had I not been around you. You know what I mean? You can learn so much in school, you can learn so much on YouTube, but until you like the whole networking and being around the craft itself is a whole other thing too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, to me, it's all growth. You know what I mean? It's just
all growth. Yeah. Don't be afraid to learn from somebody else because there are people who have knowledge that they can impart in you that you can build upon, right? You know what I'm saying? So
I sort of pride myself in being a good, like, I call it a dissector. Like, you don't have to take everything into your system because, as you know, everything's not for you.
That's right.
But take in what you can, and then while you're at home or when you're working on your own stuff, dissect it for yourself. Take out what you need, and then throw the rest of it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So how'd you get hooked up with Patchwerks?
So last year, I moved out here with a friend, and I told myself I was just going to hit the ground running and just do whatever. Me knowing that Patchwerk was one of the bigger studios around here, one of the legendary studios around.
Shout out to Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis, the man.
That's right.
And Osmond as well.
Yep, that's right.
They have this Type 32 contest that they do on at the end of the month.
Right.
So me being into the city, me trying to figure out where I can get my foothold in. I heard about that and I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. I actually heard about it. The first thing I did when I got to Atlanta, I got here like in the evening or whatnot. Got here, I was looking around. I was like, man, I need to find something to do. And then somebody said, oh yeah, there's this showcase at Apache.
I remember you talking about that. I remember we talked about that.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's a showcase at Apache. You should go. I'm like, all right. So I go, I have no idea who anybody is or what anything is. I walk in. They're like, oh, are you here to perform? I'm like, nah, I'm just a producer trying to just network or whatever. Like, okay. So I walk in. People are just rolling around. I'm just like, so I'm a little nervous, but I just start talking, walking around talking to people, and then somehow in the show they're like, oh yeah, if any producers out there want to play some beats, so I'm like, let me take my chance. I go up, ask about it. They're like, yeah, if you want to play some beats, you got them on your hard drive. I was like, yeah. Always keep some beats on your hard drive.
Always keep beats on your hard drive. Hard drive, phone, somewhere.
I say always stay strapped.
Always stay strapped
with your music. But so yeah, and that's sort of what took it. That's sort of what made it take off or whatever. I played beats that night. They were like, "Yeah, you should do the Type 32." I'm like, "Cool," and I ended up doing the Type 32. I won it 3 times in a row.
3.
Shout out Patchwerk.
1, 2, 3. 3 in a row.
Yeah, and shout out to the competition that was there too. It was some tough competition, but like, when in situations like that, I like to just show and prove. I just like put my best foot forward or whatever. So since then, me and Patchwerk, we've been rocking ever since, man. Sure. And now I'm hosting the Baseline, which is their beat critique.
Nice.
Shows for producers. So like people send in their music, and me and my homie Beat Thomas, we critique and whatnot. So shout out to Patchwerk. Man.
So okay, so. I don't know if the audience, when they watch this back, if they're gonna really catch that. Okay, so so you moved from North Carolina to Atlanta. How long ago?
Last year in February.
Last year in February. Okay, and you're doing what now? Okay, you won 3 beat battles in a row, and now you're doing what?
I'm at Patchwerk, just hosting their show right now.
All within the span of
a year.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to hit the ground running, man. I just had to hit the ground running when I got here. I was just like anything and everything. Because apart from the producing side of it. The relationships are the most important thing you can ever do. Like, if people know you and people know you're a good person and they know you work hard and they know like they can depend on you, then they're more likely to sort of crack a door open for you and tell you, hey, go over there, knock on this door, go over here, do this, do that, do this. And so I appreciate everyone. Shout out to the Letter L Beats who sort of plugged me in.
Letter L Beats.
Yeah, Letter L Beats. He sort of plugged me in when I got to the city. Scissor from I Standard. Man, it's a list. It's a list. It's a whole list. I still have everybody's business card too, but like it's a list of people who just like sort of plugged me in. It's like, yo, go here.
Shout out to AJ, Amon Jackson.
Yeah, Amon Jackson. That's the homie right there. Shout out to my other homie. His name is AJ too, coincidentally. Alan John. He sort of took me into and like just sort of showed me the ropes of everything. Rachel from IB Daily.
Absolutely.
Jeff Blackwell.
My
brother Question. When I say there's a list, if I miss anybody, I'm sorry.
Question is dope.
Yeah. That's my guy right there. That's my guy.
Question is dope. Yeah. I gotta get him on. Question is actually super dope.
Yeah.
Y'all know who Question is. One of these days I'm gonna have him on the show and you're gonna find out who Question is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shout out Question ATL, man. That guy, he's moving too.
He's super dope.
Man. I'm trying to think of more people.
No, it's all good though.
Shout out, probably say this again at the end, but shout out to Bounce Gang. Shout out to
so let me ask, who's Bounce Gang?
All right, so Bounce Gang is a producer collective that we all sort of met through I Standard and decided, this is my first year being in the gang because I was inducted this past December.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, shout out Bounce Gang, thank y'all. But yeah, it's just a really dope producer collective that formed through I Standard. And we all work together to write, produce, and pitch music to artists and whatever. So it's that many dope individuals in the same spot. It's like,
but how many people are in the collective?
About, I think we're sitting at about 30 right now.
Ooh.
It's a lot of fire.
30.
It's a lot of fire.
What y'all trying to do?
Trying to take over.
Y'all trying to hurt. It's crazy.
And that's both in the country and outside.
And outside of the country, because I know Fuego,
Black Bell, and Lawless as well.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. Shout out to my guys over there across the pond, man.
Yeah, that's the French connection.
Yeah, man.
Over there.
Yeah. And they're ridiculous too.
Yes, sir.
They're very ridiculous too, man. So yeah, shout out. If I miss anybody, shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everybody
help me
in the
get
Atlanta
to
music scene.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But now the reason why I mentioned AJ is because I was at the beat camp last year, and at the beat camp I know he personally called you up, and just talked about your hard work, your dedication, your consistency within the industry, and just putting in the hard work and effort. And I do remember that stuck out. It was like, wow. I remember when I met you I think it was like when you first got here and you hit the ground running, and just to see people who are in the industry, start to recognize your hard work. Yes, I know that has to feel.
Oh man, I'm speechless obviously right now. Oh yeah, shout out DQ Hampton, my guy DQ Hampton. But it's the thing where like you start with this, or you start like playing around with this stuff in like high school or whatever. You're like, man, and you're just like looking at the stars, like, man, I want to be up there one day. I want to be somewhere around this. I want to be somewhere and do something like this one day, and then to sort of start to see it come to fruition a little bit, or people start to. And it's like the thing of being for when people really hear you. It's like they heard your music, but it's like they're really listening.
And they're really listening now.
Yeah, so like that's and then for somebody, a GOAT as big as Amon Jackson to recognize, like, oh man, this guy's really doing it. This guy, I believe in this guy. You know what I mean? There's another story about Amon Jackson that he actually helped me get the job that I'm working at right now.
Oh, tight.
Yeah. So shout out to him, man.
Yeah, shout out to AJ.
Yeah.
He's gonna be on the show.
Yeah.
So I'm just convincing AJ to come onto the show. Yeah, but he'll be on the show.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm calling.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's a busy guy, and like things are taking off for him too. Just and like I said, man, the relationships and like being a good person and then taking your good energy and pouring it to other people, it always comes back.
Yeah.
It always comes back, man. I wish that guy nothing but the best.
Me too.
What he's doing,
Absolutely.
man, because his ear is impeccable. His
ability to. I mean, I know we ain't talking about AJ.
Yeah.
I'll ask AJ these questions when he's here.
Yeah.
But the dude has an amazing ear. When it comes to sonics and mixing, engineer. Oh my goodness,
it's like
crazy
things that you wouldn't even think about. He's like, oh yeah, this needs to. I'm like,
crazy.
I had a session with him one time. He was like, I was just watching him work, and I was like, I didn't even hear that. He was like, I know. Like, yeah, I heard it, but like you see why I took it out, and now it's like this and this. I'm like, and he's always down to explain and talk through and like take the time. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't. A lot of people haven't. You know what I mean? But he's always willing to take the time and like explain. You know, and like,
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
So before we end, talk about advice you would give to new producers or artists coming into the industry.
I'll give them the same advice that I've been given from like the iStandard to the Ivy Dailies and the dynamic producers and the Patchwerk. Your network is your net worth. Who you know, it's all about who you know and also who knows you. So if you're starting out, get out there, show your face, get in front of people. You know what I mean? Even if you don't have the latest and greatest equipment, it really ain't about that nowadays, as we're talking about, because you can I saw a tweet from, I think it's Madlib, I think his producer name. I'm not sure.
Madlib.
Yeah. Made a whole album from his iPad.
From his iPad.
Yeah, it's like, so you mean to tell me I can, like, you know what I mean? But you don't have to have the latest and greatest, but you have to, one, be a good person. You have to get yourself out there. You have to like show your face. You can't be afraid of no. You can't be afraid of people saying, "Oh man, that's lame. That's terrible. That's bad." You know what I mean? I ended up winning a beat battle in April. And Sis, when he was on stage talking, he was like, "Man, when I first heard this guy, his beats were bad." I was like, and like for most people, I'd be like, "Oh man," but like for me, I was like, "Yo, if this guy says this, and I just won this beat battle," he's like, "Man, but the growth that I've seen, this and that," and he just went on this list. He was like, "Man, but like when I first heard this beat, they were kind of bad, but like it's nothing like to hear that. It's like, you know what, I love that." Because I said that speaks to the growth, you know what I mean? And that speaks to the relationship too. It's like he didn't just think like, "Oh man, this guy he's not gonna do anything." You know, he's like, "All right, well, let's see what he does. Let's see how far he can go." You know what I mean? Going back to the advice thing, you don't have to have the latest and greatest equipment, but you do need some equipment. You know what I mean?
You do need some equipment.
So yeah, some equipment and reliable equipment too. Don't be afraid to Don't be afraid to invest in yourself and in your craft. Whether it's getting a tutor, getting a theory tutor or something like that, learning the music, going to festivals or events or paying to get into a beat battle, because I did a lot of that last year too when I was networking around. I spent so much money just going to events just to network. Trying to be in this room or that room or this room or that room. Sometimes you have to make those investments, and they pay off in the long run. You might not see it now, but the investments always pay off in the long run.
That's right.
Invest in yourself, meet people.
Invest in yourself, meet people, network. Get out of the basement. And actually meet people. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to somebody.
That's right.
And just get involved in the community of what's happening. Get involved into like learn, not so much learn the craft, but also learn the business side of it as well. So there were some really, really dope people out there, but like they get used and abused and taken advantage of because they just don't have like the basic knowledge of business or like how to maneuver a certain way through the market. You know what I mean? Because like when you're producing, you're not just making music; you're a brand now. And now it gets to the point of like, cool, you make music, but now how can I bring customers to this brand?
Mm-hmm.
How can I establish a conglomerate that like makes people think, oh man, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's good.
I want a little piece of that. So
that's
like
good.
your brand as well. You know,
your brand. So brand is absolutely important.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of what people see is the brand. What is this person really about?
Mm-hmm.
So what's next for you?
Man, that's a difficult question. What's next for me is I'm a creature of habit. If I see something is working, I like cycles too. If I see something is working, I'm gonna figure out another way to do that one thing and just do it again, over and over again. But there's a lot of music coming. I have a beat tape streaming right now on all the platforms. Genius Volume 1. Go listen to that.
Go listen to it.
And I have a couple of other projects dropping with my homie DQ Anthony out in Texas. I'm working with an artist in North Carolina. Her name is Tyler Cherub. She's dropping a project soon.
Good stuff.
More music and taking every opportunity that comes from me. That's all I can describe. Like as far as like what's next for me, you know what I mean? Like opportunities are coming. I'm just knocking them down every chance I get.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Stay tuned. You can hear more from Smartboy. I can guarantee. I can guarantee that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's coming. God willing, it's coming.
That's right.
Coming.
So where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everything is Smartboy Beats with a Z. Smartboy Beats with a Z. And now you can find me on any streaming platform, and also on you can find me on any streaming platform. Genius Volume 1, Smartboy.
That's right.
And website smartboybeats.com as well.
Smartboybeats.com.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you can find me anywhere. Everything is Smartboy Beats.
Good. That's what's up, brother.
Yeah.
I wish you much success, my dude. Absolutely.
Thank you again.
Blessings upon blessings, my dude.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Same for you, brother.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Good to have you on the show, my guy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. No, hey, of course. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's a wrap.